Hello and welcome to part 2 of Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV, where we are currently looking at the Classic Retro Modern magazine, issue 1. So if you don't know what Classic Retro Modern magazine is, this is a new publication just launched in the last few weeks or so, and we're currently looking at the first issue. This is a subscriber edition. So let's have a wee look where we left off. So the next part of the magazine is a Tom Carran interview. I'm not sure who Tom Carran is, but apparently he is a car designer and he's still designing fresh transport concepts today. It looks as if he maybe designed a Scimitar GTE, the Bond Bug, I wonder if Princess Anne drove a Scimitar. And then we go into the Panda Pop. This is a masterpiece of packaging and simplicity. The Panda is as relevant today as it ever was. This is the Fiat Panda Mark I. There's a pink Panda, and it's an actual Fiat advert. And it's so practical, darling. As we look at this pink Panda, this is a car you could get 57 miles to the gallon with. And it had a 5-speed gearbox. And you could buy this car, starting price of £3,298. Or if you wanted the 5-speed 45, you just pay £3,644. Today, probably Fiat Panda money, you'd probably be paying, I don't know what a base model is, maybe £7,000 or £8,000. But I remember the days when you could buy a car for not like an Ford Escort Mark IV for £4,500, something like that. It was now the equivalent is Focus. You're paying closer to nearly £20,000, and probably an Escort size nowadays, you'd probably be looking at a Fiesta Mark 8, even though that's probably still even bigger, and you're looking at £16,000 for a base Fiesta nowadays. And there's the interior of the Panda. Single wiper goodness there. And then we have the Lotus Cortina, or Cortina Lotus. It's a nice looking car, but I don't think it's as nice as looking as the Lotus Cortina, which had the sort of round rear lights. But look at that Lotus tuned engine. Still a beautiful looking car. And here we have the Citroen GS at 50 years old. The GSA redefined the small family car. We pay a very personal tribute to the Citroen. It should have changed the world. Now, if you're looking for a bit of Citroen GS or GSA action, then check out Hupnut. He's got a Citroen GSA on his fleet. I think it's a really stylish little car. Just check out that interior. The one-spoke steering wheel. Absolutely. Simplicity. Then we have the Maserati Biturbo. And another gorgeous interior as well. Just check out that engine there. Gorgeous car. Just check out that gear lever as well. That's stunning. I've never seen a gearbox like that, so I'm used to the old traditional sort of 1, down to 2, up for 3, down for 4, up for 5, and I've never quite seen a box like that. So if you're looking for a Ferrari parts specialist, Superformance. Then if you're not into reading print magazines and you want to be getting with the kids of today, you can get a digital subscription down to your iPad, iPhone, tablet, or Android phone, or maybe an Android tablet device as well. I actually prefer to have the magazine in print because it just, you can feel it and you can read it, and you'll know from Bearded Driver reviews that I'm a bit of a dinosaur when it comes to technology, so a print magazine is fine for me, but I'm not stopping you signing up for a digital subscription. Next in the magazine is In the Bag, which is the history of the airbag. Now, I was watching Hupnut earlier on, and apparently Mercedes were offering airbags. Even before sort of mainstream manufacturers cottoned onto the idea. I think Ford was the first mainstream manufacturer with a car where as a driver's airbag is standard on the 1993 Ford Mondeo. And they're saying now that when airbags only really last 10 to 15 years, but nowadays they reckon that's not the case. It's maybe just a guidance set by the SMMT. Six of the best key cars, or K cars. The AutoZam AZ1. Now, I think this looks like a wee Honda. Is it a Honda? Sorry, it's actually, no, it's a Suzuki. I actually thought it was a Honda. It's the wheels that maybe I thought it was Honda. Then Honda Z600. Now, I'm sure this was featured on Hupnut not that long ago. Then you have the Daihatsu Kuro Avanzato TRXXR4. have 8,500 RPM Redline. Then we have the Suzuki Cappuccino. Then we have the Honda Beat. And then we have the Suzuki WizKid. Then we have the Lost Lives with Fiat Barchetta. They were a cute wee car when Fiat launched them. Brilliant wee things. If you've seen the Top Gear episode when they go to Nazareth and Bethlehem to deliver presents to the baby Jesus stroke Stig, when you'll have seen a wee Barchetta getting battered and getting its bum cheeks ripped off. They were brilliant wee cars. Only available on left-hand drive, I believe. And then we've got Living with a full Volvo 480. This was Volvo's attempt in the late 80s, early 90s to get younger drivers into Volvos, and I think it succeeded. Because it went on, and then we discontinued it when they launched the C30 again to get young drivers into Volvos, and that worked a treat as well. Because when I was down at Volvo 600 a few weeks ago, the amount of young drivers driving Volvos nowadays is unbelievable. Mainly driving the C30 because it offers, the C30 for example offers an alternative to say a Ford Focus ST. You can get one with the same 2.55 pot engine and not in it, and it's different from a Ford because it's Volvo's own engine, and you don't see too many of these ones about, the 2.5 Volvos. And a lot of young drivers seem to be opting for a Volvo instead of a ST. And I've also seen a few young drivers driving the 480 as well. And seeing these cars in the flesh, they are still a stunning car, even to today. Then we've got an advert for the Volvo Owners Club. A safety felt cap. Now I wonder if a bearded driver would wear a safety felt cap. Below radar, discover a whole world of cars you never knew existed. And now we've got a advert for Scene Stealers. 5 brand new sizzling metallics, engine enamels, silky Saturns. Custom striping kit. Then we have William Town's Black Prince. Now this looks like a kit car. Looking at the steering wheel looks very Reliant. It's actually based on a Reliant Kitten chassis, complete with an 848cc engine. Petrol blog, celebrating the cars you loved and the ones you didn't. And Diesel Car, the UK leading magazine for economy motoring, which are now branching out to electric, hybrid and diesel. Again available in print and digital. Then we have a guilty pleasure, the Renault Safrane. I loved these cars when they came out back in the 90s. Absolute luxury cars. Leather interiors, ahoy. Or perhaps you want to upgrade your big Healy. You can upgrade the transmission, the wheels and the brakes. And here we have an advert for the Austin Healey Sprite and the Austin Healey 3000. An advert for Bill Rolls Classic Cars Limited and ahspares.co.uk. Buying a Jensen Interceptor. So if you've seen my Who Wants to Be a Millionaire car challenge, which I done earlier in the year, you'll have noticed the ad for so much money. I decided I wanted a Jensen Interceptor. Now at launch, these were roughly about £5,400. I think nowadays you could be paying closer to £60,000 for one of these. But don't quote me on that. Go and check back on my Who Wants to Be a Millionaire car challenge video, and you'll find out the price that I could have bought one for. So here's a wee history from the Jensen Interceptor. It came out in 1966 with a 6.3 litre Chrysler engine, V8. The Interceptor 2 came out in 1969. And as we go through the timeline, 1972 you got the 7.2 litre engine. Jensen ceases trading in 1976, and 1983, the year I was born, the Interceptor is revived. So here's the sort of prices you'd be looking to pay. So real cars for sale, you've got one starting at $7,975. It's a barn find. It's been stored since 1996. Then I told you that prices were going up. We found one for £85,000. It's a 1973 model. Or if you look for a cheaper one, you can get yourself a 1975 convertible for £67,500. Then you've got the Jensen parts bit there. An advert for Jensen handmade cars. The Jensen Owners Club. Riverborn Jensen. And if you're looking for a steering wheel cover, then try this. Available from Harrods, Gamages, Army and Navy stores, Halfords, or you can send for a full colour leaflet. I really like this magazine, and the fact that it has all these sort of period 70s adverts. And how about a Mercedes-Benz R129? Again, if you're interested to know more about the car, why not check out Hubnut. Hubnut's just launched the latest video as of the 7th of July. He road tested an SL 4-pot. And what I really liked about the R129 is it had wee robots that pushed out your seatbelt to you to put your seatbelt on, and also the wiper action on that. It was a jiggly wiper. It was one big massive single wiper, and it would sweep across the screen and sort of do a jiggle as it went to the other side. So check out having up for a R129 road test. It's an absolutely gorgeous car, the R129. There's something stunning about them. They just look right, and they really do, I would say, they really are the best of the Mercedes in that era. So a wee timeline for you. The R129 came out in 1989, and the run out edition was in 2001. So it got a good 12 years. Just check out that interior though, it's absolutely gorgeous. And that interior as well. And there's some more for you there. And this just basically gives you a specification list of the SLs. So let's have a closer look at these. We'll just go through a couple. Let's start at the 280 SL to 1998. It had a 2799cc 6-cylinder engine, producing 193 horsepower, top speed 140, 0 to 69.9, fuel consumption of 26, and it was got in a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed auto. Let's move over to, let's check out a 300 SL. So we had a 2960cc engine, 231 brake horsepower, a top speed 148, 0 to 60 of 8.4, and you had either a 5-speed manual or a 4 or 5-speed auto. And let's go for an AMG. So you've got an SL73 powered by, get this, 7291cc V12, producing 518 brake horsepower. Top speed electronically limited to 155 as per the gentleman's agreement. A 0 to 60 of 4.8. Fuel consumption of 13.4. And it was only available in a 5-speed automatic. And if you are looking to purchase an R129, there's some specialists for you and a few car clubs. And the R129 Co. And another quality advert, period advert of the Mercedes 250 SL. Starting from £3,611. But did you know Mercedes-Benz motoring starts at £1,895? Or if you wanted a Mercedes 600, you could pay just under £10,000. And strapline was the world's safest most brilliantly engineered car backed by a nationwide network of 245 service points. Wow. Absolutely stunning. Moving on, we've got Bresco Vehicle Services Limited, high quality parts. D-Tech, looking for a Mark 1 Mini Moke or a Gilburn Mark III. The Classic Engine Workshop. Moving over here, we've got Modern Classic Insurance and an advert for detachable saloon tops, sliding side screens. And look at the prices of these things. And last of all, we have is it a classic Toyota RAV4? So, viewers, is it the Mark 1 Toyota RAV4? Would you say that's a classic car? In my opinion, yes. Launched roughly in 1993, 1994. It was often referred to as the Golf GTI of the SUV, or four-wheel drive, or two-wheel drive. It was very comparable sort of performance-wise, and this is probably the best of the RAV4s. The original, it was a small car, small fun SUV, reliable, backed with Toyota reliability, and it was a sales success. Newer versions just got bigger and bigger and more advanced with technology, but there's something when you see a Mark 1 Toyota RAV4, you think they look absolutely brilliant. And you can sort of see it's spawned like the current crop of SUVs now that we have nowadays. But this was back in 1993-94 quite a popular wee car and set a new trend. And in next month's magazine we have the Ford Puma Racing, a 155 Q4, the Morris Marina at 50, upgrading the Jaguar Mark II, an ultimate guide to the MGF and TF, and basically telling you that Issues 2 is out on the 30th of July. Now that we've went through this magazine together, this is probably my first time going from cover to cover. Since I've got it, I've quite enjoyed the journey. I'm going to get into a bit more in-depth reading, but I can tell you that I will be subscribing to this. I think I'm quite into the sort of older cars now. So, just to end with, we have Stone Cold Classic. So, just to end with, we've got an advert for Stone Cold Classics. If you've not heard of Stone Cold Classics, then check out Furious Driving's YouTube channel. Matt from Furious Driving test drives a lot of Stone Cold Classics cars. So, examples being, I think he's driven this Ford Fiesta XR2. I'm not sure he's driven the Volvo. I know recently he's driven this Renault Megane. And he's recently also driven in the last couple of months this Nissan Silvia. So, if you're looking for a classic to invest in, and consider having a wee look at Stone Cold Classics. You can follow them on Facebook, and they're based at Rotham in Kent. And there's the contact details for Stone Cold Classics. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe at Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV. And we'll be back soon with another magazine review. Who knows what it might be next? It may be issue 2 of Classic Retro Modern, or it may be an old school magazine. Maybe going back to the sort of Max Power days in time for the reunion show in September. But for now, Farewell, and don't forget to like and subscribe at Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV. Thank you.